Queen City is in the building. Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to be chatting a little bit today. I got my friends coming on. I want y'all to share this video with me today because we have my advisor, my financial advisor, and then also my accountant, Shanae Wilson and Njadeka will be joining us today to answer some good money questions. And so we are out here learning all this stuff new. I'm trying to get used to this whole live thing, man. You know, we're trying to get ready for it. But yo, let me see where y'all coming in from. Charleston, South Carolina is in the building. Okay. Connecticut is in the building. Canada's in the building. What's up, Mr. Hall? What's going on there, buddy? Vanetta's in the building. Santana, Charlotte's in the building. Cool. Great. Well, listen. You guys, I want to thank you so much. Don't forget, you guys, I'm about to do this teaching, and then I'm about to bring on my advisors. If you want to call in, I'm going to open up the phone lines here soon to where you'll be able to call in and ask myself any questions, my financial advisor any questions, and also my accountant any questions. Taxes, we have some new tax things we want to go over today. We also have just some updates on some things that we really want to talk about. And so if you have any valid questions about your life, about your money goals, about any taxes goals, not any taxes goals, but any tax questions or any just money questions between myself and my financial advisor, we'll be able to give you that practical wisdom. I'm going to be doing this every Wednesday here starting soon. We're just practicing, getting my team used to going live. As you already see, we have some small little hiccups here, but I'm grateful that we're here. So listen, come on in. Yo, listen. So I was looking at the news earlier, and they said that the there are 23 U.S. cities where you have to earn at least $150,000 to still be considered middle class. I want you to put in the chat if you think, what city do you think it is? Put it in the chat right now and let me know, what city do you think requires middle class individuals to make at least $150,000? I see. Wait. Monique, I don't think you're saying New York. Well, you probably are saying New York. New York is definitely one of them. And so what cities do you think requires to make $150,000 a year to be considered middle class, right? I'm going to give it to you. Y'all ready? Here's number one: San Francisco, Oakland, California. San Francisco requires you to make at least $150,000 to be considered middle class. Washington, wow. Washington, in the DC, VA, MD area, to make middle class income, you need to be right around $150,000 a year. In California, San Diego, Chula Vista, and Carlsbad is where the average $150,000. What's so funny is Carlsbad is not even 10 minutes from where I grew up in Oceanside, California. Denver, Lakewood, Colorado requires $150,000. Now, here's an interesting one. Cary, North Carolina. So my biological father grew up in Fayetteville, North Carolina, where he served in the Army. And so I'm like, wow, okay, this is really interesting. But what are some things that we have to be doing to really consider lifestyle? So when we see stuff like this, right? When we see stuff like this, oh my gosh, I'm not making a lot of money. You may be making $50,000. As a matter of fact, I want you to put your average salary in the chat right now. If you're making $50,000 to $60,000 to $70,000 a year, put it in the chat. Let me see what is the average income that we're seeing in here. In the chat right now. If you're making $50,000, put $50,000 in the chat. If you're making $100,000, put $100,000 in the chat. Don't give us your exact numbers, but give us your ballpark. Put it in the chat. And Johnny said, "What city requires $50,000 because I want to move there?" And that is something that I really want to talk about today. And I want to give you all just some practical things, right? That I believe everyone should be aiming for in the year of 2024. All right. These are 5 practical things. No matter what city you're in, no matter what you're going through, here are some practical things that you should be aiming for when it comes to no matter what city you're in. Here's number one. Okay, we're seeing, 670, 125, 103, 180. 110, 146,000, 90,000, 100,000. Okay, okay, okay. We're seeing some good numbers here. We're seeing some good numbers here. All right, 70,000. Okay, 120,000. My people making money. Okay, my people making money. 60K. I see you. I see you. Okay. All right. Cool. Cool. Great. All right. So listen. I want you to write down these things. Let me pull up in my notes. Real quick. Here are 5 things I want you to work on. Then I'm going to bring up my financial advisor. We're going to start answering some questions. I believe in teaching for a little bit, and then we go from there. 5 things for 2024 milestones I really want you to focus on. I want you to write these down and write it down, put it in the chat, and then write it on your iPad. Write it on your iPad, write it on your notepad, put it in the chat. When I say here's the very first thing I want you to focus on this year, because it doesn't really matter about the requirement of middle class, right? If you can focus on these 5 things, these 2024 milestones to achieve in 2024, you can focus on these 5 things, you're going to be great. Here's number 1. I want you to put at least 1 month of your salary inside of a high yielded savings account. 1 month of your average salary. So let's say, for an example, you make $3,500 a month gross. I want you to put $3,500 a month a month inside of a high yield savings account. Now watch this. If you're making, let's just make this even math. If you're making $5,000 a month gross, that means you're going to probably see net about 4,000, in between 3,500 and 4,000, depending on how you're filing, right? And so if you're seeing net $3,500, right, then you're actually going to have a little bit of more of a cushion, because you're going to put that extra $1,500 inside of your savings account. Inside of your savings account. Nearly 60% of us do not have $1,000 sitting inside of our savings account. So the moment you put 1 month of whatever salary you're making inside of a high yielded savings account, you're ahead of 60% of American individuals. Now, this is going to require some of you. To really make sacrifices, to really sit down and to be detailed, and to tell your friends, no, I can't go out. Brothers, we're going to tell our young ladies, hey, I can't do these expensive dates, but you know what? I could do a coffee date. I could do a picnic date. But right now, I'm focused on getting some money in the savings account, because if I marry you, if I choose you as my wife, right? I want to make sure I'm in a great position, and I got to do that by having some money in the savings account for when an emergency comes up. So you got to have at least 1 month of your salary, not just $500. Okay. Not just 1,000, not just 1,500. No. Whatever you're making a month, I want you to put that inside of a savings account. Michelle on YouTube, do me a quick favor, Michelle on YouTube. Do a poll on YouTube, and I want you to ask the people, how many of them have at least 1 month's salary inside of their savings account? How many of you all have at least 1 month salary inside of your savings account? Let's do a poll, Michelle, and let's see what we have. All right. So now that we have this established, right? Here's number 2. I want you to start investing at least $50 to $100 monthly into an IRA. This is $50 to $100 monthly into an IRA. And I'm going to be, when I bring up my financial advisor, I'm going to show you all the math, right? The math of what you could do when it comes to that. As a matter of fact, let me see if I can actually pull it up right now. Let me see if I can just pull it up right now. Man, we got time today, boy. Let's see if my boy Jay can get me plugged in. Let me see if I can get plugged in, y'all, to the computer, because I want to show you all. Don't pull up the computer yet, Jay. Let me get there first. This is allow AnthonyO'Neill.com. I'll pull this right now. I want to show you all the math that you can have. What the heck is going on my computer? The math that you could have. Why is it going there? Technology is so weird. Let me go here. Hold on. I want to show you all, if you could just put $50 to $100 a month away. I want to show you on a free resource that I have on my computer. All right. All right, all right, all right. Let's see, Jay, if you could bring that on up for me. All right, we're gonna go right over here to the calculator, right? We're gonna go over here to the, not the wealth calculator. Where do I wanna go? I wanna go to the, yes, wealth calculator. I'm tripping, all right? So let's say for an example, you are 30 years old watching this. This is on my website. If you go to anthonyno.com/wealth dash calculator, or if you go to anthonyno.com, you'll be able to pull up this. It's a free tool, it's a free resource. And you can honestly sit here and type in and get all your information. Let's just say for an example, let's say you're 25 years old, all right? And you plan to retire, let's say around 65, all right? So that's what, 35, 45, 55, that's in 40 years, right? Let's say you have zero inside of your investment accounts. And let's just say your annual return, is on average. And actually, I'm actually going to post this on my Instagram. Just last year in 2023, we saw a 23% return on investments in last year in the S&P 500. Right? We've only had close to about 7 years over the last 30 years. Only had 7 years in the negative. All the other years were positive. They were in the green. It's absolutely amazing. So last year, if you were investing, you saw about 23%. That's absolutely amazing. But I'm not going to put 23% here. I'm going to say best case scenario, let's just say 10%. Let's say we're going to see an annual return of 10% average over these years of 30, 40 years. And let's just say you invest $100 a month. That's it. You're only going to invest $100 a month. I want y'all to pay attention over here. Here are your results, right? You're going to see $632,000 in return. But watch this. You only invested $48,000. So you only put in $48,000 inside of your investment, but your free money was $584,000, just simply off of $100. But I want to show y'all the math, and I'm going to be deep diving in this on a show that's coming up here soon. But I'm go back to the screen real quick for me, Jay. Let's say, for an example, I'm teaching you need to be investing about 15%. If you really want to retire and retire comfortably, you should be investing 15%. But let's just say, for an example, you get out of debt, you have some freedom. Let's just say you're able to go from $100 a month to $500 a month over the same time frame of 30, 40 years, right? Remember, you were at $632,000 just off of $100 a month, which is $48,000 of your money. But what happens if you can go from $100 to $500 a month? You're going to have $3.1 million, right? And let's just say, for an example, you have this $3.1 million, and let's just say you're taking out 10% of that a year. That's it. Your money is still going to grow. And so for right now, this is what I'm telling you right now. Don't worry about what the stats are saying. If you can go ahead and get you 1 month inside of your salary, 1 month inside of your savings account, and then if you go ahead and start investing bare minimum $50 to $100, and then as you get more breathing room and as you feel more comfortable, your goal should be to be at 15% of your income, because 15% of your income should be more than $500. And no matter where you are in life, you're going to see the good return. Put in the chat if you're feeling me right now. Put in the chat if you want $1 million, $2 million, $3 million at retirement. Because to really be comfortable, you need to be at about $1.5 to $2 million. So that way you're not touching the principal of 1.5 to $2 million. You're able to withdraw the interest of it with right around 8%, 8 to 10%. And then you'll be able to live. Now you're comfortable. You're comfortable. So now that we got that, here's number 3. That's the 2 money things. Here's number 3. You got to start reading. The book of the month. The book of the month is goals. It's goals. It's goals. This is the book that we're reading this month. It's like $15 on Amazon. I'm going to have Michelle put this inside of the chat so that way you can get this book. I want you to get this book right now. Did you know that on January 12th, they call it National Quitters Day? January 12th, this is National Quitters Day. On a recent show, I was interviewing one of my good friends, Jasmine Starr, and we're going to be releasing her show here soon. And she said, Anthony, pizza dies January 1 through January 12th. But you see a study that shows that pizza actually goes up January 12th on. Why? Well, because for the first 10, 12 days of the month, everyone's on I'm drinking only water. I'm not eating any sweets. I'm not doing this. But then 11 days in, they give up on their goals. Why? Because they didn't put a system and or a strategy in place to fulfill and to get them to December 31st of 2024. And so I want you reading a book. And the very first book I really want you reading this year is Goals. It's Goals by Zig Ziglar. This book is teaching you how to get the most out of your life and how to make effective goals. You should be reading at least one book a month. That's 30 minutes a day. A lot of y'all are, feeling a certain kind of way because, y'all thought I was attacking Shannon Sharpe and Cat Williams. I wasn't attacking them. I wasn't attacking them at all. Here's what I was saying, that if you're going to give them 3 hours of your time, if you're going to give them 3 hours of your time, why not give yourself 30 minutes? Why not sit down and read for 30 minutes a day? We can give ourselves an hour, 2 hours on Netflix. We can give ourselves 3 hours of watching Real Housewives of Atlanta. We can give ourselves so much time to put all this entertainment inside of us. And let me not sit here and fake it. I enjoy entertainment. I am a movie guy. I enjoy watching movies. But hear me clearly. I'm reading. I'm studying. I'm evolving, I'm growing, I'm accomplishing my goals. I'm not quitting January 12th. I'm not doing it because I got too much to lose. I got a wife I'm trying to find and marry. I got a family I'm trying to grow and impact. And I don't want to go to them with all the latest gossip about Shannon Sharpe, Cat Williams, and what they're fussing about on Real Housewives of Atlanta and what they're talking about on Game of Thrones. No. I want to be able to get my wife and get my family, whatever God sends me, and I want to build something. I don't want to just sit here and just be capping. I don't want to know all the latest music and all the latest dance moves. No. That's why I meet with my financial advisor, and y'all about to connect with her. She was on our show on Monday. I meet with her once a month. She's teaching me something, everything. I'm my financial advisor, my CPA, Sinead. That's my homegirl. Love her dearly. And every time she says something, I say, well, why are we doing that? And I go off and I do my own research. I do my own research because I want to grow. I want to feel good. So this is the book. We're going to put this inside of the chat. We're going to put this inside of the show notes as well. And I really want you to get this book. And I want you to read it. Y'all, it's not a lot. It's really not a lot. You got maybe 140 pages. And what I like about it is you're able to actually write inside of it. I don't know if we can see it, Jay. It's crazy. You can't really see it, but you can actually write inside of the book. So it's not just 100 and something pages of straight reading. No, he's going to give you assignments. He's going to give you things to do. So that's number three. Number three, 2 more things, and I'm bringing up my people, and we're going to bring y'all up for questions, but I'm going to ask them some questions as well. All right. Here's that's number 3. Here's number 4. I want you to start eliminating your debt this year. I really want you to get focused. I really want you to get focused on eliminating your debt. Here's why I'm not really concerned about the average of middle class going up. Because if we can eliminate our debt, that creates margin. When we have margin, we could do amazing things with that. When we have margin, watch this, we can invest more so we can get to the $3 million, $4 million. If we have margin, we can send our kids to private school, to special extracurricular activities. But if we have debt, it doesn't matter how much money we have. We're still broke. If you're making $500,000 a year and you're spending $500,000 a year, you're broke. If you're making $70,000 a year and you're spending $70,000 a year, you're broke. If you're making $10 million a year and you're spending $10 million a year, you're broke. This is why I just can't do debt. And the main reason why I can't do debt is because I don't like paying interest. I want to receive interest. That's a reward. I don't want to pay interest. So the main thing that I really want y'all to focus on this year is how do you eliminate your consumer debt? How do you eliminate your consumer debt? Real estate, cool, great. Man, go get it. Go get it. I'm with it. You know, how do you eliminate your consumer debt? And here's one way we can eliminate our consumer debt. Going into, I don't know what this is, number 5, right? We got to develop some extra avenues of revenue. We got to start figuring out ways of how we can use our gifts, skills, and talents to make extra income. I'm not talking about get an extra job, get an extra 2 jobs. That is a way. But God put a gift and a skill and a talent on the inside of you. So what can we do with that gift, with that skill, with that talent, turn it into a small business on the side? I'm not saying go off and drive for Uber. No, maybe that is the first start. But when you come home, if you're an executive assistant at your job, how can you come home and make content about that? How can you come home and if you're a school teacher and turn that into content? It's a good one right here. If you're a school teacher, you can come home and start a YouTube channel, start a podcast, start teaching parents how to help their kids at home with education. Do you know how hard it is? I'm teaching good right now. I'm about to bring my people. Do you know how hard it is for parents to to help their kids? They don't know where to start. Maybe you can give them resources and advice on math, on reading, on history, on the different assignments out there. Parents would sign up instantly. If you're a parent right now and you would love to learn how to best help your kids when they come home, put a 1 in the chat. Put a 1 in the comments right now. Put me in the comment. Don't put 1. Put me in the comments right now. If you would watch a YouTube channel or listen to a podcast that's teaching you as a parent how to best help your kid with their homework assignments, their essays, all that type of stuff, put a me in the comments if that is you. We got to find different ways to make income. Because here is the truth. We got to take a seat at the head of our table. We're giving our boss too much ownership over our life. We're allowing our boss to tell us what to do. We're allowing our boss to tell us when we could take a vacation. We're walking into our job sweating because we don't have a savings account. We don't have another stream of income. So because we are in this position, we sit at the side of the table of our life. Now, our boss gets to tell us what to do. I've had a boss disrespect me. I've had a boss think he could just talk to me any old kind of way because he knew I needed this job. But when I had a fully funded savings account, my God, when I have no debt, boy, you can't talk to me any old kind of way. When I have extra revenue coming in, listen, I'm coming to this job because I want to be here. And a lot of you all are on a job right now and you do not want to be there, but you need the check. And if we can create an extra stream of revenue that puts us in a better place now to where now, watch this is good. Now you're taking the seat at the head of your table. And this is why I call this the table with Anthony O'Neill. Every Wednesday now, we're going to go to building your table with Anthony O'Neill. Your table represents your life. Everything that I'm talking about is how do you take ownership of your life back from your family, back from your bosses, back from the bill collectors. Some of you got bill collectors and they're the head of your life. You don't want to work 2 or 3 extra jobs, but because you owe everybody, you got to have 2 or 3 extra jobs. Am I saying something in here right now? Is this making sense? This is why I'm so passionate about this message. This is why I was a little frustrated with the Cat Williams situation. 32, 34, 35, almost 40 million people have watched this. And I'm one of them. But then I felt convicted because I was like, dang, bro, you just spent 3 hours hearing everything about all these other people. What did you do today that got you closer to your vision? You helped Cat Williams get there. You helped Shannon Sharp get there. But boy, what did you do that got you closer to your vision? Y'all, I turned off the phone. I'm keeping it real with you. I turned off the phone and I went to reading. I couldn't feel good about myself knowing that I sat there and helped somebody else out, but I didn't do nothing to help me out. I didn't do anything to help me make more money. Which leads me to the last thing. And Jay, find Shania and Jadeka and go ahead and bring them up. Here's the last thing. Here is the last thing. You got to pray daily. You have to pray daily. You've got to pray daily. Let me say it one more time. You got to develop a prayer life in the year 2024. I don't care what stats are saying. I don't care what people are saying. You have to develop a prayer life daily. And if you don't develop a prayer life daily, you're not going to accomplish your goals. You're not going to make the kind of money you want. You're not going to be able to position yourself to take the seat at the head of your table. You're always going to be on the side. And I don't care what people say. I refuse for that to be my people. I refuse for that to be my people. I refuse. And so January 22nd through the 26th, we are praying. We're calling it Pray FYI. We're praying for your increase. We are praying for your increase. And I want to encourage you to join us. I don't know, Jay, if you have it up on the screen. I don't know if you can put it up on the screen, but put that up on the screen for me. If not, Michelle, put it in the chat for everyone. All you have to do is go to prayfyi.com. Prayfyi.com. And you're going to register. It's 100% free. Man, I got my friends coming. My pastor, Pastor Stephen Chandler, is coming. Pastor Travis Green is coming. We got Pastor Torrey Roberts coming to pray for us. Man, Pastor Chris Dorso. We got some good people coming to help us pray to decrease our debt, to increase our wealth, to increase our opportunities, to increase our income. We're just gonna go to the Lord and pray over our finances. It's 10 minutes every single day during your lunch hour, Monday through Friday on the 22nd, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And you're gonna be able to come over there. You don't have to talk, you don't have to do anything. We're gonna give you 5 minutes of encouragement, 5 minutes of prayer. And every single day we're sending you an email with free resources, with free tools to help you reach your money goals this year. So all you got to do is go to prayfyi.com. Prayfyi.com. And we're going to get you there. We're going to get you there. We're going to get you there. So who cares about what the stats says about middle income is on the rise? No, if you can focus on these 5 things this year, you're going to be better than 60% of the people in America today. You're going to be better than that. If you're enjoying this, do me a favor, and we're going to bring up my people, and we're going to allow you to call in. If you're enjoying this, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up. Hit that thumbs up so we can let the people know that, hey, y'all enjoying this. And also consider joining the E3 community. The E3 community is pretty much focusing on increasing our wellness, increasing our freedom, and increasing abundance. That's what my community is all about. So if you're a subscriber, if you're a follower, you're no longer a subscriber. You're no longer a follower. You're no longer a spectator. You are now a part of the E3 family, where you're focused on increasing wellness. You're focused on increasing freedom. You're focused on increasing your abundance. And if you really want to be a part of that family and you haven't hit that subscribe button, hey, yo, can you hit that subscribe button? Whether you're watching this on YouTube or listening to this on podcast, I want you to become a part of this family, because all year of 2024 and moving forward, that's all we're focusing on. We want more freedom. We want more freedom so we can enjoy our family. We want more freedom so we can enjoy our kids. Don't y'all want to go to your kids' soccer games, football games, basketball games? Don't you want to experience that? Don't you want to have so much abundance, so much money that if you could take your kids to Israel? I was talking to one of my friends and say, yo, man, I'm taking my kids every year. We're going to Africa. We're going to Israel. I'm taking them to Paris. I want to have so much abundance and so much freedom with my family that if I have kids, I can take them out of the country every single year. So if I have a daughter, by the time she graduates high school and she meets a man and he says, I'm going to take you, girl, to Paris, she can be like, that don't mean nothing to me. I went there when I was 10. That don't mean nothing to me. Girl, I got 2 dozen of roses. Bruh, my daddy sent me 10 roses when I was 15. 10 dozens of roses when I was 15. I want to have so much freedom, so much abundance. Watch this. That I am able to really, really do whatever I want to do with my kids. But that comes from focusing on increasing my freedom, increasing my wellness, and increasing my freedom opportunities. And you got to work the strategy. So listen, as we bring my people up, here are the rules. If you have any money questions, tax questions, getting out of debt questions, it's simple. All you got to do is just call in live. You got to click on anthonyoneil.com /call AO. Here are the rules with me. I don't do scammers. I don't play around with things. So if your screen is not on, you will not be allowed on to the live call-ins. All right. And so your screen got to be on. So that way, if you say something dumb, I know who you are. I know how to find you. But we don't do none of the call in and scams here. We're serious here. And so if you do not want to come on screen, totally fine. Put your question inside the chat. I'll have Michelle send it to me and we can possibly answer it there. But if you would love to call in, if you have a serious question about investing, maybe about, should you pay this off first? How should you pay this off? Maybe about estate planning, etc. This is the time to where now you can call in. We're going to be doing this every Wednesday here, starting here soon. But go to anthonyoneil.com /call AO, click it, and you'll be able to come on in. Jay, let's bring up Shania and Njadeka. Let's go ahead and bring them up. I need to fix my my thing because it keeps falling off the back of it. What up, Shania?
Hey, I'm on. Oh, hey.
What's up? I don't know where's Njadeka. Text her and see if she's still coming on. I can't. Oh, there she go.
How's your day? Are you preaching to the people?
Hey, man, listen. She's on. She got a head on. Listen, last time I saw her, she ain't had that hairstyle. Lord Jesus, my financial advisor, yo, you could tell she, you know what I'm saying? Like, God, Lord Jesus, she had a little fro last time. You know what I mean? Every time I see you, Njadeka, you got something different.
It's different every time. Listen, black women, okay?
Listen, man, listen. I'm extremely happy that we have 2 black sisters on. You guys, on my show here on this past Monday, you all met 2 of my 3 A team. The A team is my attorney, my financial advisor, and my accountant. Njadeka has been my personal financial advisor going on for 2 years now, and Shania has been my personal CPA for going on 3 years now. And I'm telling you right now, I first met Shania right when I started my own personal business. I think Shania, what we do year one? I think it was like $500,000. I think it was close to that.
we have the W-2 and yes, maybe like around $500,000 in business revenue.
Yeah, we had $500,000 just in the business revenue, and one of my mentors said, "Yo, you need to get with a CPA right now, like right now." Before, I was on W-2 income because I was working with Ramsey Solutions, a great company over there, and we made a lot of money. Like I made a lot of money with them. They took very, 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 very good care of me over there. But when we had that W-2 plus the business income, one of my mentors said, "Yo, you need to lock in with a CPA." And I was using some people that was connected with Ramsey at the time. And I said, let me look. And when I started looking, I interviewed a lot of people. And I'm gonna be rude with you all. I interviewed a lot of white people. I didn't interview a lot of black people. And Shania she did my show. Actually, I wasn't even considering her. I was considering someone else who she knew. And Shania came on the show and just dropping them bombs. I was like, yo, this, she really know what she's doing. Because at first I was like, Shania Young, she don't know what she's doing. She can't handle this. And then when she was dropping that information, and I'm gonna say this respectfully, there's a lot of people online who call themselves CPAs, but I call them influencer CPAs. Shania knows what she's doing. And I was like, yo, let me come on over here, get this business. And y'all, she's taught me so much. And I mean, she keeps it legal. She keeps it ethical. She keeps it morally correct. She's told me, Anthony, no, you can't do that. She said it. Like, no, that's what they're teaching on TikTok. That's not what we're doing over here. We can't do that over here. Not even, she said, I don't even care if you weren't Anthony O'Neill on the show teaching money. I would still tell you, no, you can't do that. I can't. And then she was like, hey, yo, you need a financial advisor, because I changed my financial advisor. And she was like, yo, my homegirl. And then I met Njadeka. And y'all, Njadeka literally stays on me like white on rice. I mean, this woman would email me every single, I would say I hear from her at least once a month from her. And most financial advisors, you're not going to hear from them. The end of last quarter, I heard from her at least every day. She was like, hey, we got to lock this stuff in. I just actually heard from her this morning about some things we need to do. And so, listen, if you want to call in, if you have any questions, AnthonyO'Neill.com/call AO. You'll be able to come up, ask us any questions that you may have. But if you do not want to have your face shown, then I'm telling you right now, Jay is going to send you back, what do they call it, to the audience. Like if it was on Clubhouse, we're going to send you back to the audience where you can watch us from the chat line. So you got to have your camera on. But before we go there real quick, hey, Shania, I saw an article where taxes have now been pushed back, I think from the 20th to where you can start filing to like the 28th or something like that.
I think it's the 26th, yes. Mm-hmm.
26th.
So that's the date that the IRS begins accepting e-files.
Okay, all right.
So you can start preparing your returns. So some people, they have like just W-2 income and they have like automated processors like ADP, et cetera, and they get their W-2s right away. You can prepare your return. However, you won't be able to actually submit that electronically to the IRS until they accept their e-files to come in. So the other option is the paper file, but paper file we do not recommend. That's going to take at least 3 to 6 months to get your refunds. You know you want your coins right away, so you want to wait for the e-file system to open up so that you can get your refund in little as 2 weeks based upon the complexities of your tax return.
So you're still recommending people to get with their accountant or get whoever's going to file their taxes and go ahead and start the process right now. Like, are you accepting people to start the process, and then when they open up on the 26th, that's when you all would just start dropping everything inside of the IRS building?
Exactly, especially if they're prepared. So if you just have W-2 income, maybe some dependents, and you're prepared to file, you can definitely get started. Have your return complete, reviewed, and signed before the IRS opens their e-file. So when they open it, we can go ahead and press submit. However, I only recommend that for people who are ready. So people who are not ready are people who are going to be awaiting more complex tax forms, right? So some people may be waiting for interest statements from their banks. They may be awaiting brokerage statements from their investment accounts, or from their financial advisors. They may be awaiting K-1s from their partnerships, right? So really, in this time before tax season really starts, is doing an assessment of how you performed last year,
Mm-hmm.
in regards to like, where did your income come from, where did your expenses go out, and take an inventory of that and make a note of what you're expecting to receive for tax filing purposes. Typically, most major financial transactions are going to have some type of tax impact, even down to, hey, I bought, a new refrigerator that may qualify you for the energy efficient savings credit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So again, just think about all of your major moves that you made last year financially, how'd you earn income, your major expenses, and gather that first. If you have your sufficient in regards to like documentation to support that, then yes, you can get started with the filing process with your accountant. Or if you are actually not sure about all that you are expecting or how to prepare, it may be a great time to book a consultation so that you can actually get assistance in preparing. In assessing, okay, like, here's what I did last year. How should I prepare for this, or what can I do right now? Even though we are in January, there's still a few tax strategies that we can typically implement for small business owners, based upon, again, what happened last year and things that they can do before tax season even starts to help them save. Which Angelica can probably talk more about as well, because, leverage her to make sure we get these things done. So again, you can either start right now if you're ready, get in contact with a CPA or our firm if you're ready to just get assistance in preparing. Or other than that, you want to wait till you have all your tax documents to actually start the filing process, at least a majority of them, so that your tax return is going to be fully complete. I also want to say one thing. For people who are filing prior years and may forget, like, hey, I don't even know what happened in 2022 or 2021, but I was able to file due to whatever reasons. There's a useful tool that a lot of taxpayers don't utilize. So each one of us, if you have a social security card, you have an account waiting for you to be accessed through the irs.gov. So in your irs.gov individual account, which you can go ahead and make an account on with the irs.gov, you can access your transcripts, and they're actually free. So you can typically pull your wage and income transcript, for example. So if you're filing a prior year and you want to know, like, hey, I forgot what jobs I worked at, or if I had any interest in those years, pull your transcripts. Because what we filed last, your CPAs, as your tax accountants, has to match what the IRS has on file. So if you're confused and you don't tell us and we mess up, then you can go ahead and get either a rejected return, or you'll have to be forced to do an amendment. It can get you an audit assessment. We don't want no eyes if we don't have to have any eyes. So if people who are filing prior years, I do recommend, if that's the case, prepare by getting your wage and income transcripts from the irs.gov, which is free, before you speak to an accountant if you are filing prior years. That's going to have you very, very prepared and in the know, again, of all that happened during these financial years.
That's good. See, this is why we're doing Build Your Table with Anthony O'Neill live, because we need live information and practical information and real information live on the spot. I want to ask you this question, in Jamaica, because I think it was last night you and I were talking, and Shanae, you may need to help her out on this one too, because you said there are some things that we could take advantage of if you're a small business owner in 2024, but it will be credited to 2023. And one of those is a SEP. So we thought that I maxed out my SEP, but then because we did mid-year give me a pay raise, see, you know what I'm saying? So now watch this. I'm teaching right here, y'all. Listen, I don't just go inside my bank account and just pull money out. I pay myself an actual salary. And it was my CPA, Shania, halfway through the year saying, yo, your company's winning. Give yourself a pay raise. So we paid myself, I think it was like an extra $1,500 a month, right? And so because we did that, my first initial interaction with them at Q1 of 2023, we were basing my investments off of that salary for the SEP. And so we were able to actually go up, but we didn't go up on my investments for the SEP. Explain that to the people watching right now who are small business owners, and they may be looking for some ways to save up on money right now. So maybe start with you, Njadeka. What is a SEP? I know what a SEP is, but you're my financial advisor. So I want people to rock with you right now. What is a SEP? Why is it important for small business owners to have it? Why is it important, Shania, for taxes? And how is it that legally, ethically, and morally in 2024, we can still credit it towards 2023? We'll start with you, sis. Go ahead.
So let's start from ground floor. So IRAs, right? Individual retirement accounts, right? So you get to the SEP. You may not start with the SEP, right? A person might get to the SEP, even as a small business owner, you might get to the SEP, but you might not start at the SEP. So a lot of folks are more familiar with Roth IRAs, right? They're familiar with traditional IRAs. And then we kind of graduate to the SEP. And it's really about the amount of income that you bring in, right? So the traditional IRA, the Roth IRA, those contribution limits, I believe they increased that for 2024. We're at about 7,000, right? Is what you can put in there. So if a person, for example, is W-2, and let's say you have a side hustle, right? That might be your first level. You didn't just jump to being a straight business owner. You have a side hustle. So you might be maximizing your employer sponsored retirement account, right? Whatever that is, 401k, 403b. And then outside of that, you may go ahead and add on a Roth IRA or a traditional IRA, right? Depending on what your situation is. As you begin to make more income, that 7,000, for example, that the IRS gives you to be able to put into your traditional, like max out at it to put into your traditional and Roth, that's not enough. You need to be able to put more money in. So that's
Fact.
when you graduate to a SEP IRA. A SEP IRA, that one, the maximum contribution for that is 66,000. Well, actually, no. It was 68 because they keep moving this. So it might be about 60. It might be even 69,000, I think, for 2024. They moved it up to 69,000 for 2024. You can put away that much in your 401k. You can't put that much away, right? In a traditional IRA, Roth IRA, you can't put that much away. But if you're saying to yourself, right, I want to have a 6-figure, right, as a business owner, I want to have a 6-figure retirement. I want to have a 7-figure retirement. Well, you got to be able to. You have to find an investment account where you could put that much away every single year. And so that's what we did with you. We tailored it to what you wanted, to what you wanted your retirement to look like. And so what you were speaking of, and then I'll go ahead and pass it back to you. What you were speaking about was, when you have a SEP IRA. Now, I said the 60 last year, right? It was 66,000. This year is for
69.
2024 is 69,000. They always move up the country. Well, I can't say always, but they've been. So, but and so the thing about that though is you are not automatically qualified to put in that entire 69,000. It is a percentage of your. This is where me and Shanae, you gotta had a relationship, right?
Talk.
It's a percentage of that 60 of your income, right? So depending on what your income is, we'll see if you can max out that 69,000. So roughly, and Shanae can kind of speak to this. If let's say if you have a multi-million-dollar business, you have multi 6-figure business, and let's say that you at least do up W2ing yourself 250,000, you can max out. Because it's 25% of whatever your income is, right? 25%, or the max, right? Of in this case, 69,000 is what you can put in. So based on what you pay yourself, that's how we determine what you are able to deposit, what you're able to put into your SEP. And so, right, between myself and Shanae, we're monitoring that. We want to make sure that you're putting enough in that SEP IRA.
And I think what you just said is very important, and this is where my CPA can come in. It's you two have to have a relationship, because you two made a call without even me making the call, because you was like, hey, this is the max based upon what we talked about at the beginning. Then Shania came back and was like, hey, yo, we went up on his salary. So this is, I think it's like $3,000 that I could put into the SEP. I was like, yo, run the play. Put that in there. I want to invest as much as I can legally, ethically, and morally, because I don't want to have to pay taxes on it. Why pay taxes on that when I could put that towards my retirement, right? And so this is why, you guys, it's so important to get the strategy in place. Get the strategy, get the system, and get the right people at your table. Ooh, get the right people at your table who can give you the right strategy and the right system to follow at the level that you're at. And then you just gradually grow. Y'all, I'm not paying myself $250,000 yet. Why? Because based upon my CPA, she's saying that's just not the correct strategy just yet for your business. We're going to get you there. But there is a point of, if I'm paying myself $250,000, I'm paying more taxes. And right now, that's not a good strategy based on my small business. But come in here, Shanae, help people out, because some of these people have a W-2 income and they have a small business, and they're like, okay, wait, are there some other strategies I can put into place that will help me with my taxes when I go to file here on the 26th of the month?
And that's going to be a definite yes, right? So again, if you earn W-2 income, again, you can still contribute to retirement accounts, and there are actually retirement savings credits that you can that you're eligible for as an individual, even if you don't have a small business, right? So if you make under a certain income threshold and you contribute to traditional accounts, so that whether that be your 401k or an IRA, there's a credit called the retirement savers credit. So you do get a tax credit for just saving as an individual on its own, right? Now, if you also have a small business, and again, you can still leverage this SEP IRA strategy as well at the same time, which again is the beauty of having a diverse way of how you earn income. I always tell people, I look at the tax code as like a game of chess, right? Plays chess. Chess is all about strategy. And the strategy that you can utilize definitely depends on what pieces you have on the chessboard, right? You can strategize a lot more when you have your full fleet of chess pieces, but when you have only a few chess pieces, you can still do some great strategies, but is it as vast of an option pool as it is if you have all your chess pieces on the board, right?
So good.
So as you build wealth, a key to that is understanding the pieces that you have on your board. And again, typically the more pieces, the better, because we can strategize more, right? So the good thing about having a business when you have a W-2 is, again, looking at, okay, what did I spend last year? Something, especially if you are in a business that relates to what you do to your W-2 income, it gives you a chance to write off things that typically you wouldn't have been able to write off. So now sitting in the green room, I heard you talk about like teachers, for example, right? You can earn a teacher's salary, and you can get, there's certain tax, deductions that teachers do get, but they're honestly not a lot. Now, if you take your skill as a teacher and you actually create a small side business doing the things that you do as a teacher, you can allow more deductions to open up for you that you typically would not have been able to deduct as a W-2 earner as a teacher. For example, as a teacher, perhaps you're investing in courses for your education so you can be better in your classroom. On a W-2, not deductible. On a business, because I monetize my skill as a teacher and I'm actually a business owner at the same time, I can now deduct that. If you're going to conferences as a teacher so that you can network and figure out what everybody else is doing, or to figure out, how can you grow your teacher business, that's going to now be a deduction, right? So at this time, you can also take an inventory of, again, where'd you spend your money last year? If you do have a business, thinking about some of those expenses that you thought were personal. But again, after watching this and consulting with a CPA, you actually realize that, hey, these are ordinary and necessary expenses for me as a business owner teacher versus me just being a W-2 teacher, right? So as I said before, having the business is now having an extra piece on your tax chessboard. So now we can go ahead and put more strategies in place. Especially the SEP being the great one, which I love that Angelica said, because again, why not get a business deduction for contributing to me in my future?
Y'all, we're 5 minutes away from bringing it up and taking questions. So we're going to take questions for a whole hour. But I want to go back to my people, man. You know what I'm saying? So because I just love Njadeka and I love Shania. I can keep it real with them. I can joke, but then while we're joking, we get this money. You know what I mean? We get this money. And I love this. I love this. So if you want to call in, you better get in line. Go to anthonyoneal.com/call-AO. Don't forget, you got to come up on the screen. You know what I'm saying? We don't do no trolling, no stuff over here. So if you say something stupid, if you say something crazy, I at least see your face and I can find you. Don't get it twisted. I can find faces, okay? And so if you want to come up, if you have a serious question about some serious money goals that you're trying to accomplish this year, hey, come up. I got my A team here. We're only missing Josh, who is a white brother, but who's been my attorney from like the last 4 years. I actually got with Josh before I got with Shania, and his law firm has just been a blessing. So next month we'll get him on as well to answer this. But listen, don't be ashamed to come up here and ask questions. The reason why some of us are broke is because we're ashamed to ask questions. We want to look smarter than what we already are. Listen, I teach money. I study money for a living. I still ask Njadeka questions. I'm like, yo, Njadeka, I can do that? You know what I'm saying? I'll be like, Shania, can I do this? Because I don't know everything. And I really don't want to study taxes like that. I don't want to study investing like that. That's why I pay them too. And they ain't cheap. They ain't cheap. But at the same time, both of them are offering some good services. Njadeka sits down with every one of my staff. It is required for them to sit down with Njadeka for 3 months because I like to create a space to where my staff doesn't have to, if they want to come to me for financial advice, hey, they know they can. But I also understand that they kind of work for me and they don't really want me to know all their personal business sometimes. And so we have a clear understanding that, hey, you have a confidentiality clause with Njadeka. You can go to her and she teaches what I teach, and she can go deep into their personal information. And all of my staff have sat down with her for 3 months. And I think even a few of them are actually still working with her past the 3 months because they really want to invest. And then Shania does all of my taxes, and she's done thousands of my community, E3 communities taxes. And so Michelle's going to put their information in the show notes where you all can get with them and get a consultation. I would encourage you to get a consultation with one of these ladies, because I promise you right now, they're not going to help you. They're not going to help you manipulate the system. They're going to help you dodge the system legally. Right? They're going to teach you the Donald Trump ways of how to legally save money on taxes. Legally. I ain't got no problem saying that. I'm not a fan of some of Donald Trump's words of how he uses things. But brother, I have learned a couple of things from the brother. When it comes to business, when it comes to money, I'll be like, Njadeka, Donald Trump did this. Can I do this legally, ethically, and morally? The moral part is on me, and the legal and ethical part is on her. Can I do this legally and ethically? And she'll be like, yeah, we can. All right, we need to run this play then. We need to run this play. Another thing that can come up too, and we got 3 minutes, 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We're going to take questions. All right, so Jay, let's go ahead and get that loaded and ready to bring up this person. When you come up, you guys, you're going to keep your question to 30 seconds. Okay, you're going to keep your question to 30 seconds, and then between us three, we'll answer the questions, and we're going to help you out, and then we're going to try and move through a lot of people as we possibly can within an hour. Njadeka and Shania, if you need to, if one of y'all need to jet earlier, let me know, and we can make that happen. But you can definitely call in. But I really do want to make sure that we do this. I don't know how I saw their names last time, Jay. I don't know their names when you do bring them up. But I need to figure out how to see their names, or text me their names. I was telling you. Okay, you did tell me the names. All right, bet, cool. And so I love this. Like, I already see the young lady coming up right now, and y'all don't even see. This is so dope. I'm gonna love this live thing. I'm about to be killing this thing every Wednesday. And she beautiful too, y'all. Got her hair done, got the glasses on, got the earrings in. Y'all gonna like it when she come up here, boy. But she look like she ready. She's like, hey, can you just bring me up? But listen, we got 2 minutes. I want to ask this last question to Njadeka. Njadeka, what are some of the mistakes that you're seeing from individuals right now? Like, why is it important to get with you? I know this answer, right? But I want you to speak to this. Why is it important for people who want to save for retirement? Because I was looking at the math here, and my content lady said, Anthony, we got to start quoting where we're getting the math from. Smartasset.com, which they do a studies on people's assets, right? She said, they're saying that the average retirement savings account is at $48,000 per individual. So people are retiring in their 60s and 70s with $48,000 to their name. Y'all, that is scary as heck. But I think it's because they're not getting the proper information. They do not know the correct strategy. And they don't have the right person to teach them. From you, Njadeka, why is it important to get with you January, February of the month rather than December of the year? Well, why is it important to sit down with someone with you earlier on?
Ooh, me and Shania, we had a phone conversation probably about 2-3 weeks ago. And because she and I, we kind of same intensity with our clients, we got to make sure, because December 31st is the cutoff for so many things. So we're talking about tax strategy. A lot of that tax strategy needs to be done by December 31st of that prior year. The one thing, why IRAs are just so special is because they give you right on into the following year in order to still be able to mark that for 2023. Okay. But you don't want to play that game. You want to do things, as much as you can in that particular year. What is one of the biggest mistakes, especially around retirement? It's funny, you just gave, or it's not funny, you gave that stat. It would be, I would want to know by race and ethnicity, what is that breakdown? Because it gets worse. It gets worse depending on the race and ethnicity. But to your point, my background. So I'm first generation Nigerian. My mother was a teacher for LAUSD. My father worked with the U.S. Postal Service, and the same conversation that I had to have with them when they were 65, I think, is part of what you're talking about, which is, you're right. People are not having these conversations early enough. It's not that people aren't putting money, especially as W-2 workers. It's not that people aren't necessarily putting money in. Well, some people aren't. Some people have their jobs are or their employers are offering retirement accounts, and they're not enrolling in it, right? They don't know enough about it, and so they're not kind of pulling the trigger on that. For some people, you're putting money into it, and you're assuming that it's going to be enough. You're assuming that, oh, well, I'm doing the match, right? I'm getting the max match, so by the time I retire, shouldn't it be enough? No, you really do have to be intentional about, in January, in February, and as soon as possible, sitting down so that we can figure out specifically, what do you want in retirement? How much are you going to need? And we do the calculation so that you figure out, there is no guessing game. I don't do guessing games, right? And so you figure out how much you're going to need to be putting away for how long in order to achieve the type of retirement that you want to achieve. So you want to do that as soon as possible.
Got to do it. Got to do it. We have to do it. Here's the thing, and we're bringing up the guests right now, Jay. We'll go ahead and bring up Miss. Who are we bringing up? Miss Wilson. Miss Wilson's gonna come up here next. You can bring her up on the screen now. Here's the thing, y'all, and this is why it's important. I just looked up the stat, and on retireinequality.com, retire inequality, 54% of Black people do not have enough saved for retirement. This is over half. More than half of Black people do not have enough money to retire. That's scary. What are we doing with our money? But hey, this is why I'm here. I ain't going nowhere. We're going to do this thing. Miss Williams, what's going on, my sister? Is your mic on?
I just unmuted myself. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, we can. How are you doing? Where are you from? And talk to me. Well, Miss Williams, we know your name, Miss Williams. Miss Wilson. I'm sorry. I'm tripping.
Okay.
I got all these people in front of me right now, and I'm looking at this stuff here. Miss Wilson. All right, cool. I'm pulling up my notepad so I can write your stuff down. All right, so Miss Wilson, where are you from, Miss Wilson?
I am located in Columbus, Ohio.
Columbus, Ohio. How cold is it? Cold right there?
It is cold. I haven't been out there, so I have no idea. But last I saw it was like 39 degrees.
See, I ain't got time for that. That ain't the Lord. That ain't the Lord. Shanae over there smiling because she in California. You know what I mean? Me and not Shanae. Shanae is in New York, and Jadaika's over there smiling because she's in Cali, and we over here in 40-degree weather, and you in 39. That ain't the Lord. That ain't the Lord. But but talk to us, my sister. How can we help you? What's your question today?
It's hard to come up with a question because I am so confused right now and so fearful with my situation. I lost my job last year, but I had my side hustle, which has been baking. So I've been building that business for a few years. So now I feel like the Lord has thrust me into my baking business and saying, this is it. You do what I've blessed your hands to do. So I'm ready. I'm all in that aspect. But of course, it's been hard because I lost my W-2 income.
Okay.
I sold my house in Texas not even a month ago.
Okay.
So I'm sitting on top of about $100,000, and I'm petrified. I don't know if I invest it. I don't know if I am going to have to pay taxes on it. Like, I don't have a financial advisor. I missed your last live, so I've been catching up. I've been watching it. I don't have the attorney. I don't have the CPA. I have what the ladies have referred to as a tax preparer who's
Okay.
been doing my taxes for years. And I don't know that everything has been legally, ethically, and morally done.
Okay.
So I'm just in a state of petrification where I'm just like, I don't know what to do.
Okay.
I don't know. I do know I want to invest in an IRA. I'm going to put my top contribution in the IRA for 2023. That's all I know. That's where I am. And so I don't know what to do with this $100,000 or what moves to make or not to make.
Cool. Let me get a bit more information from you before we give you some answers. So, how old are you first, Miss Wilson? Do you mind saying that?
I don't mind. I'm 43.
Okay, 43. All right, cool. So you're currently unemployed, no W-2 income. Okay.
Correct.
So no W-2 income. How long have you been unemployed?
Since July of 2023.
Okay, so for about 7 months now. All right, so 7 months. Okay, and then this information is well, no. How much money have you been making on your baking business? Are you making money with that?
Not a lot. It was just a side hustle. So I'm just got to the point where I'm building and trying to get my clientele. So it's nothing substantial by any means. I think just this past year I cleared maybe $4,000.
Okay, so 4,000 on the side hustle. Okay, is it? Are you LLC'd? Are you up and running on that side of things?
I have my LLC, my tax ID. Um,
Cool.
I have insurance. I feel like I got a lot of the entity part of it established.
Great.
Just don't know what moves to make with it. I don't, and my preparer, he wasn't able to give me I went to him a couple years ago. I said, hey, I want to know how to get those tax breaks. I want to know how to
We're gonna help
structure
you.
everything. He was like, oh, I can help you with that. I can help you with that.
And he
It's
never
not
helped
been.
you. Yeah, I got you. We're going to help you today real quickly. Here, a couple more questions, and we're going to give you some answers. I'll let Shania come in. How much debt do you currently have? Consumer debt outside of, well, you don't have a mortgage anymore. You sold your house. So how much consumer debt do you have?
I don't have any debt right now because I used a portion of the money I got from the sale of my house to pay off my credit cards, loan, everything.
Zero debt. Okay, cool. You have any children?
I have one son.
One son. Okay, I like that. She got her a young man growing up. All right, cool. And last question. Are you trying to get back into a W-2 job, or do you really want to pursue your baking business full time?
That's a great question. There's a fear of not having a W-2 that sometimes I'm like, you should probably do that or for the tax side of it. But then also, I do want to grow my business.
Yeah,
I feel, and again, I feel like that was God's way of telling me, hey, you've been wanting to do more in this business. Here's your chance. So
cool.
I don't want to mess that up spiritually either.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I'm gonna let Shanae come in, and then I'll come in and give you some of my thoughts. I think that we need to figure out what do you need to do with legally from the tax part of the $100,000. That's gonna be very important because I sold a house with Shanae, and we had to do some things with the proceeds of that for taxes. So, Shanae, what's your professional thoughts on that?
Yeah, so in regards to the home that you sold, the other question that I would ask is how long did you have that home? And then how long did you live in that property in regards to it being a primary residence for you?
I purchased the home in 2008. So what's that? 16 years?
Okay,
Oh yeah,
perfect.
yeah.
How long have you lived there, like as your primary residence?
It was my primary residence for 12 years. No,
Okay.
13 years.
And then was it your primary residence for at least 3 out of the last 5 years?
Just right, exactly that time. That was one of the questions they asked me when I sold it. But yes, it was right there. It was that month.
Okay, perfect. So actually, so long as you were there for at least 2 out of the last 5 years, you're gonna qualify for the permanent residence. So the reason why I'm asking you this is because in terms of the gain that you received on the sale of your home, you actually do qualify for the homeowner's exclusion, meaning that you get to avoid paying any taxes on the gain as long as that does not exceed $250,000. So as long as you lived there 2 out of the last 5 years and the gain wasn't more than 250K, you don't have to worry about paying any taxes on that. So that's great. And just for everyone else to know, that doubles when you're married. And that's kind of like what's cool about marriage. Imagine you guys sell your primary residence and now you get to exclude a gain of $500,000 just because you were married. And because, again, the tax code, I always tell my clients, it favors individuals that invest in real estate and in business. So you, my dear Miss Wilson, you are able to go ahead and, don't have to worry about paying any taxes on that gain. So that's great. Now, in regards to what you should do with that income, I also say, like, when you think about building wealth, you want to look at it. I'm going to diversify how you spread it, right? So if you're thinking about, okay, we'll do 100K. Should I put this all in retirement? Should I put this all in my business? Should I put this all here? The answer is going to be, let's diversify that, right? So this is why, again, you want to sit down with myself and Jadeka, maybe both, and like derive a plan that makes sense. Okay, if we don't have any consumer debt, great. So if we still have 100K to play with, let's think about what can we do to set yourself up for greatness. So that can be number one, getting started with investing in your business. So setting aside a budget for that. One thing that I would do if you were a client of FOLA is think about, okay, you said you made $4,000. Well, what type of energy and effort did it take to make that 4K? And how can we go from a 4K year to a 4K month? And let's start there.
Mm-hmm.
That data, that 4K meant that you sold, 100 cakes, and to sell those 100 cakes, you went to 3 different showcases to, show your product off, etc. But you want to think about, what did it take as an effort to make that 4K? And even if we don't make a 4K month, let's still derive it as a plan, because even if you get the 2K months, that's still you on track to get into those 4K months, those 10K months, and getting on track to the point where, rather than being scared of not having a W-2, we want our business to be so strong that we can confidently pay ourselves a W-2 from our business. However, in the meantime, I don't think there's anything wrong with doing both as well. So I have a great friend. She's a very successful baker right now. And she actually started off her baking business by being in, she was an employee for 5-star restaurants, specifically doing culinary, like doing the baking stuff, right? And she was able to get, again, secure W-2 income because it was a restaurant. She was only working maybe 3-4 days a week. However, she was growing her business at the same time, but more importantly, learning at the same time from experienced 5-star chefs that been baking, at this level for a long period of time. So never look at a job as, okay, it's just for the W-2. Align yourself to the point where it's for income, but it's also for knowledge and for growth. Because those skills that you learn from being employed can attribute to your success in entrepreneurship. So a little bit about my background. I worked for a Big Four accounting firm. I didn't just start full of financial with, okay, I just want to be an accountant. I worked for a Big Four accounting firm, actually the one that's number 1 in the world right now. And I took knowledge, right? I talked to the partners. I asked them questions that had nothing to do with my work, just to learn, because I always had the thoughts of, well, if they're managing these, $200 trillion funds for these clients and these $2 billion businesses, I want to be able to take those same skills and strategies and use them for small businesses and help empower my community. So even when I did have a W-2 income, I was still learning what I needed to do to prepare me to be an entrepreneur. So as I said before, I do believe that for you, it'll be starting with a plan. You are blessed to be in such a great position right now, to the point that you can derive a plan where we can actually do a few of these things at the same time. And again, see what works. We may have both a W-2 and a business, and then, okay, let's see which one hit more. We don't know. Because it gets to a point where you can grow in your career and also grow your business to the point where you can have staff and really do both. And now multiply your wealth by having diverse streams of income and also job security in different directions as well.
Man, I love it. I love it. Now, Ms. Wilson, write this down. I want you to use some of your $100,000 to invest into a consultation with Shania and with Njadeka, right? You can go to, we'll put it inside of the chat. I think Michelle's putting it inside. You can get a link, because if you use my link, you get a little discount, you know what I mean? So I'm going to say that, but I want to give you just 3 simple things, and then they can break this down more for you into detail. Number 1, I want you to put at least 3 months of for an example, how much does it cost you to live right now? 3 months. Like, if for 1 month, how much money do you need a month to live? For rent, childcare, utilities, you name it. Just on average, just give me a ballpark average.
I am very blessed in that area too, because I am married. So
okay, great.
Are you meaning, like, if for some reason he lost his job, the
yes.
total?
Yes.
Okay.
Like, what would you say ballpark real quick?
3 months, I'm going to say 15,000.
15,000. All right, cool, great. Do y'all have $15,000 in the savings account right now outside of the 100,000?
No,
Okay,
we
cool,
do not.
great. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to move 20,000 and put it inside of a high yielded savings account. Okay. So that's going to leave you with $80,000 left. So you're going to put $20,000 in the high yield savings account. You guys are not going to touch that. Then you're going to invest into your business. Investing into your business means I want you to invest into whatever. I don't know the cooking industry. I don't know the baking industry. So I don't want to give the wrong advice there, right? But I do want you to invest. Is there a course that you could take on how to market your cooking business? I think you should even tap into, someone like a Jasmine Star who can show you how you can go online and utilize online and how you could be teaching people how to baking. See, and I got to keep my answer to a minute less because we got to get to the next person, right? But I don't want you to be so focused on just baking. But while you're baking, how can you teach other people how to bake as well and turn that into good food? You may not be able to teach them how to start a baking business because you're learning the business side of things, but you can teach them how to bake. You can give out baking recipes. You can give out baking stuff. And now that goes back to what Shanae was saying. How do we go from $4,000 a year to $4,000 a month instantly? And you can do that by baking while selling as well. But you can also teach them how to bake a cake, how to bake some cupcakes, how to bake some cookies. Because Liz, I'm tell you this right now. Okay. Every woman know you a married woman. The way to a man's heart in his pockets is in his stomach. So if you can teach these ladies how to cook, you're going to get you a good one. And here's number 3, invest into more wealth. Like use your money. One of the key things that people don't understand is that it's the power of compound interest. And if you can get with Njideka and say, hey, listen, I'm comfortable to give you $25,000. Where can we start with $25,000 just to invest? And then you come up with a strategy now on how to now you're putting in 25,000. You said this, and I'm gonna let you go. We're gonna bring up the next person. You said you have a child. How old is your son?
He's 11.
He's 11. Okay, cool. Do you have a 529 for him yet?
I do not.
Do you have okay, cool, great. There's so many different things that you can get to, right? I want you to get with Njideka, and I want you to open up not a retirement account. What's that? UPMA? Yeah. I want you to look into that or a 529. Get with Njideka and see what's the best plan. 529 may be a little bit late, but maybe the UPMA is a good one because it's like you should be positioning yourself now to give your child something. And why? If you could give your child, let's say, $10,000 go towards college at the end of and when he graduates high school, why not start putting that money now and get free money? Get free interest. And so those are the 4 things I would tell you to do right now. And I'm gonna close with this. Do not be fearful of the season God has you in right now. Maximize the season that you have right now. And you maximize that by continuing working with me on my show and learning and growing and evolving. Then also, you need to set up a time to where you and your husband can sit down with Shania and go through the tax strategy for this year, right? And then sit down with Njideka and get your wealth building strategy for this year. And so we're going to put our information in show notes. Thank you so much, Ms. Wilson, for coming on and rocking with me. I mean, you're absolutely amazing, y'all. Put in the chat, y'all. Tell Ms. Wilson she got this. Tell her she got it. She going to be baking. She going to be cooking. And she going to be real good. Who do we got next? Who we got next, Jay? Who do we got next? Who we bringing up next? You can bring them up next. Load them into the screen. And we will be there. Listen, you guys, we're going to shut this down at 2 o'clock. So when you come up, 30-second questions. I've already told my guests, Shanae and Njideka, we're going to try and keep our answers to 1 minute each so we can get through a lot of people. Because, when you got experts like this, we want to make sure we give you the right stuff. So sometimes we can go a little bit long. We can't give you everything, but this is why it's important for you to get a consultation with these 2 ladies because they want to make sure that they're saying it right. They don't want to just say something that's tweetable and that's clickbaitish. Like they want to say something that is actually right. And sometimes it'll take us a little bit more time to get it out, right? But we're going to try and keep it at a minute for each one. All right. So who do we got next here? Did you send it to me, Jay? We had, what's her name up? We had another. Okay. So who we got? We got David. All right. David is about to come up onto the screen. David, what's going on, my brother? Where you calling in from, man? David, you hear me? You got to come off mute, bro. Okay. David didn't come. All right. Who we got next? Listen, you guys, be ready to come up. Now, once you come up, be ready to come off mute. You got to hit that mute button, so that way you can know. So as soon as you come up, if you don't come off, I don't see nobody. I see grass. So we got to move on. If I see grass, we can't do that one. All right. So who is this right here we got coming up right now? Kenyatta, come off mute, my friend. How are you doing and where are you calling in from?
I'm calling in from Vancouver, Washington.
Washington. Come on, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Vancouver.
It's snowing.
It's snowing?
Oh, I'm so happy to be on the show, but I'm going to get right to it. I am 47 years old, and I'm a social worker, and right now I'm a hospice social worker. I took a pay cut. I was a travel social worker, and I was making pretty good money, about $2,500 a week. And then I took a big pay cut going into hospice, but I believe this is where the Lord wants me for right now.
Okay.
So I'm making less than my 150 to 200 grand that I would normally make. So I'm right now, and I just got married, so I can't travel. My husband doesn't want me traveling for work anymore. So I am trying to figure out how to build my wealth because I'm 47. I would like to have a specific number, $385,000 is my FIRE number because I don't plan on staying in the United States. So that's my FIRE number for retirement. I'm only 47, so I'm a long way from retirement. Right now, I put $1,100 a month, $500 into my Roth, and then I was in a stupid whole life policy that screwed me, and I lost, $14,000 for being in that thing. So that's okay. Learned my lesson from that. So I have about $9,000 in debt. And I have, but discretionary funds a month, I have about $3,000 a month in discretionary funds. And
how much debt do you have?
That's the only debt that I have.
How much debt do you have?
9,000.
Okay. And then what's your average yearly salary now?
Right now it's 87.
Okay. 87.
And then I have my side hustle, which I do life coaching. And then I just started a new company with a business partner, which is a drug treatment program for vets.
So what are you making extra on the side?
Just started that.
So what's the total on the side? What's the total income on the side?
The total on the side, right? I don't remember how much I made this year. Let's say 5,000 or 6,000. It wasn't a lot on this, but we're starting the new IEP. So I should be, from that business, I should be bringing about an extra, once it's up and running in the next 120 days or so, I should be making about an extra $2,000 or $3,000 a month.
Okay.
Once that starts.
All right, cool. So ballpark, you probably did about 100K in 2023.
Yeah.
With your side business and with your new salary. All right, cool, great. Let me give you some thoughts, and then I'm gonna have Shanae come in because on the wealth side, and Shanae, I know what FIRE is. Not Shanae, Njadeka. I want you to come in and talk to this as well. Just make sure people know what FIRE means because I understand that, but I'll let you talk to it. Washington, Vancouver. Here's my thing. One more question. How much do you have in savings right now?
And between my Roth,
savings.
Between my Roth and my
no investment. Just sitting in a savings account. No investment.
Not investments. I have $8,000. Okay,
$8,000. All right, cool, great. All right, here's what you may not like this, but I'm gonna give you this, and I'll let Njadeka come in. You're $9,000 in debt, and you're pursuing your FIRE number. Your FIRE number is $385,000, right? And so I can understand that. Here's my suggestion. I want you to pay off the $9,000 in debt that you have right now. Yeah, I want you to pay the consumer debt off because here's why. You got $8,000 sitting inside your savings account. You say you have $3,000 a month in just in play money. So why not? Okay, I'm cool with you leaving the $8,000 in your savings account, but take that $3,000 extra a month and just pay off your debt. You're debt free in 3 months. You're newly married, right? So I would hope that you and your husband do not want to have any consumer debt if you're going to pursue the FIRE movement, right? So I will go ahead and pay off. If it was Anthony, I'm taking 3,000 of that 8,000. I'm paying off 3,000 and 9,000. That leaves me with $6,000 in consumer debt. I'm debt free in 2 months. Now I'm sitting down with Njadeka and I'm coming up with the strategy on how to properly invest so I can hit my fire number. Now, sis, I'm not a huge fan of fire because I actually enjoy working, right? But if
No,
this
I'm
way,
not retiring though. I'll
okay.
never retire because I'll always work.
Okay. Here you go. Okay. So you like the fire strategy. You're not saying you're going to stop working. You're just, I just
No,
want to
I'm
pursue this number.
47. I got a long time.
You got a long time. You young and you healthy, and you just got married. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I would do if I'm you. Now, I do want to say this, and then Njadeka, I want you to talk to two things. I want you to talk to the fire movement, give her your advice on investing. And then two, she got robbed from the whole life. This is why I do not promote whole life insurance. I only do term life insurance. I got 2 term life policies out on me, right? I only do term life insurance, right? Because if you invest properly, right, sooner or later I won't need any insurance because I'm going to self-insure myself. I'm going to self-insure my family. So, term, we won't talk about that right now, but go ahead, Njadeka, talk to us. What you got, sis?
No, yeah, you already know. When she said that, I rolled my eyes. I was like, dang, they got you.
They got me for 14,000. They got me.
Yeah, and we're gonna speak to that because man, the movement is real. Every few years, there's a different kind of way that people are messaging cash value, and so you really got to keep your eyes open around that. Life insurance should be done with the life insurance company. Investments should be done with an investments company. Do not let folks blur the lines of that. Don't let don't let folks blur the lines of that. I've seen so many people say, right, and they make it sound real sexy. I remember reading this article. I'm gonna say this. Yeah, was it? Just follow me, okay? Follow me. But they said, a lot of these cash value folks, they use chart porn. That's what they use. They said chart porn, and what that meant was they make it look so sexy, like
Sexy.
to the where they're like, to where you're like, let me drop in, right? This 30,000 that was in my 401k. Let me drop in this money that was this large amount of money. And what you've just done is and this isn't on you. I'm not just speaking to you, ma'am. This is everybody. Okay. I've had clients where this has happened as well. It's really just about awareness, where it literally, it just ate up your retirement. And so, at the end of the day, listen, we are where we are. And so we can move forward. But financial independent, retire early. I like what you said. You said, and this is what. So a lot of times I won't talk to people about retirement. I always ask them, when do you want to make work optional? At what age do you want to make work optional? And that's what it sounds like you're more so talking about. I just want to have the option to be able to not work. And so and I don't know, I know you said fire, but what is what time frame? I don't know what time frame you gave yourself. If you gave yourself 10 years, 12 years, I don't know what time frame you gave yourself.
5 years.
Oh, 5 years. Okay. Because I did about 12 when I was doing my math on here. Okay, well, you got to be putting away a little bit more than $1,600 a month.
Right. And so my income is going to double in the next it's going to double, triple in the next couple of months. So I'm definitely going to I need a good strategy, but I'm definitely going to be pushing hard.
Yeah. So what he said was absolutely right. You want to get rid of that consumer debt ASAP. That's the priority, to get that knocked off and then correct. One of the things we talked about, last thing I'll say is, one of the things we talked about on the show was, when you have a side hustle, it's being very intentional with that money. That money is not just for you to spend. That money is for you to drive wealth creation. Okay. It's to drive intentional wealth creation. So the money that comes out of this, so when we sit down and we figure out whatever that gap is to help you hit that fire number, and then, and then beyond that, that's that number, that's the job of your side hustle. Okay, side hustle. This thing got to make at least $2,500 per month, because that $2,500 per month is funding, right? Is funding my ability to hit my fire number in the next 5 years. Once that hit, all right, what's the next goal? And so that's really how we kind of set up goals, is what job is your side hustle money? All money needs a job. Okay, folks got too much, we call it lazy money. we got too much lazy money around here, meaning it's just sitting and it's freeloading. We always would say that it's sitting and it's freeloading. It's not working for you. Every single dollar that you bring in, right, whether it's W-2 or through your side hustle, it needs to have a job. And it needs to be able to help you hit whatever that financial goal is that you have.
Yo, you good with
Yes.
that?
Yeah. So should I? I'm gonna pay. You think I should pay off or pay a chunk of the debt off,
What kind of debt
and
is
then
it?
just
What kind
attack
of
the
debt is
debt?
it?
It's I did a it's a line of credit.
Okay.
I did a line of credit through my bank. So it's a business line of credit.
It's a
And so
business line of credit through your bank.
but it's a simple interest. That's how they got me. It's simple interest. I didn't read it.
Ain't nothing simple interest. Let me tell you that right now. Ain't nothing simple. Interest is interest.
No.
You know what I mean? Like when you pay, when you borrow money, ain't nothing simple about that. Ain't nothing
No.
simple. You know what I mean? Like, listen, no. So what I want you to do is I want you to go ahead and pay that off immediately. Now, if you really want to be, in the words of my friend and mentor Dave Ramsey, gazelle intense, go ahead and pay it all off today. You got AK sitting in the savings account, and you can get
Yeah.
back to your 3 to 6 months, easy if you just with your $3,000 discretionary income. So it really all depends on how gazelle you want to go. If I'm you, I'm keeping 5,000 in the savings. I'm putting $3,000 towards that. Takes me down to 6. In the next 2 months, I'm trying to figure out how to get out of this thing next month. That's what I'm
Right. I
trying
want
to
to be
do.
done at the end of next month if I
There you
can.
go. So I will go ahead. and run that, sis. Pay it off, and then you got some discretionary income. I would really sit down with Njadeka and really, because 5 years that's hard. I mean, that's going to mean you've really, really, really got to be focused. You really got to have a system and a written strategy put on paper, and you got to follow that. And you and your husband need to sit down and really say, "Hey, listen, babe. Here's the goal for the next 6 months to get me to get us started, but for the next 5 years, for me to get to this point, not to where I am going to retire, but to where it's optional." And I love how you said that. I want it to be optional in Jamaica because my number, I'm 40 this year. My optional year is 55. Like, I love what I do. I pray that God would allow me to live to that long, and God would allow me to be in a position to where I can keep going, right? And so I'm really, 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 really loving this. And so I'm super excited about this. So thank you so much, sister, for coming up and having a conversation with us. We are going to go on to the next one, but I'm praying for
Okay,
you.
thank you.
No problem at all. I mean, get rid of that debt, and you are going to be great. Listen, you guys, we have 28 more minutes. We're going to try and get through some more. I think my sister, I think she lost her connection. We'll try and get her back, but me and Jadeka will finish out these last 28 minutes if she can't come back. I'm so sorry about that, y'all. But who do we have coming up next? Who do we have coming up next, brother? We lost her. Oh, who is this?
Rebecca.
This is Rebecca?
Yeah.
Cool, great. Rebecca, how you doing, man? Come off of mute, my friend.
Hi, I'm great. How are you?
Good. I'm doing good. I love that. Speaking to the or bring the mic a little bit closer to you. I could barely hear you a little bit, but
Okay.
I do
That
hear you.
better?
That's better. Okay. What's going on, Miss Rebecca? How old are you?
I am 50 this year.
Okay.
I'm 50.
You don't look like it. You look about like
Ah,
30 something years old. Come on, Miss Rebecca.
okay. I like you even more already.
It's like, come on now. Come on now. Where you from? Where you calling in from?
I'm actually in Virginia right now, but I live in Texas.
You live in
I'm from
Texas.
Texas.
Okay, cool. You're in my neck of the woods, VA. All right, cool. And what's your question?
Okay, so when you started speaking about don't be embarrassed to call in and ask a question,
Yeah. Don't
this
be.
is a terrible one.
Yeah.
Okay. I have not paid taxes since 2000 and probably, I think, five. I don't even know how long. I've lost count now.
Wow.
Because I had a student loan, and they would just take my that I hadn't paid, and I know they would just take it every time I tried to pay. So I just was like, well, I just won't pay my taxes, and then I was supposed to get money every year. It was ridiculous. Um, Now I'm terrified. I know I need to address the issue. my loans have been forgiven,
Okay.
but I'm
All of them?
terrified of the student loan. Yeah, it's there. I'm 100% disabled veteran,
Okay.
so I just don't know what to do. I know the young lady had said about finding out like what jobs I've had, and I believe I have all of the information I need to
Mm-hmm.
address it. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I would want to make sure, but I believe I have everything. I just don't know how to go about it.
Yeah. No, that's a great question. And Shanae had to jump off. She has another consultation she needs to take care of. And this is what I'm going to do because I love you.
Okay.
And I want you to get right. Let me make sure my mic can hear me. And I want you to get right. I'm going to pay for your consultation session with Shanae because,
Oh wow.
right. Let me tell you, the IRS is someone who I do not want us to play with, and especially people of color. I'm just gonna keep it a buck with you, and I think that I understand the fear, and I just want to commend you for coming up and asking this question and being part of this. Let's show her some love, y'all, in the chat. Tell her we love her. Tell her she got this. All right. And so, Miss Rebecca, it's been about 15 years, I want to say, that you haven't filed taxes. Cool. And all of your student loans have been forgiven, so you have no other student loans, right? Out there right
Correct.
now. Cool, great. Are you currently working right now, or are you just in retirement mode?
I'm in retirement mode,
Okay, cool. So
but I
you have no W-2 income coming in?
none.
Okay, cool. So
Oh,
you
wait a
just
minute. I have a part-time job that I do, so I will have. And it's just a part-time job, but I
okay.
will have that coming in. Yeah.
Okay, cool, great. No problem at all. Here's the thing. The IRS already has all your information. So even if you don't have all your information, the IRS already has all your information, and they will tell you exactly how much money you've made every single year that was attached to your Social Security number. So my first thing for you is to reach out to the IRS. You can go into IRS, actually, I think it's irs.gov, and you can type in your information, and you can honestly print off your wages from 2005 all the way up to 2000 and I think 22. I don't know if they have all of 2023 in just yet, but 2022, I will get that information immediately, right? And then immediately you need to jump on a consultation call with Shanae, and we need to fix those years, right? So you probably will more than likely owe something. I'm just going to be honest with you, right? You are going to owe something, and there will be some penalties, unfortunately, attached to it. But this is why you get with a CPA, not a tax filer, a certified person who can really help you get some of these fees waived, maybe come up with a strategy to help you save money from the last few years that you've missed out, right? And then from there, you need to start filing every year, all right? And I get the fear. I remember one time I didn't file for like 3 years. And I don't know how it happened to you this far, and maybe it did. You don't have to say nothing here because it is a public platform. I want to respect your privacy. But they froze my bank account. They were even
Happened.
they were even starting to garnish my wages off of 3 years, of not filing. And so I want to go ahead and get this nipped in the bud right now, so that way we can, one, have you in good standings with the IRS, and then you can start investing more, because right now you're working part-time. Ballpark figure, how much are you making a month, Miss Rebecca? Like a ballpark figure.
So that's kind of a weird thing because I am a disabled veteran, so I get a
Check.
pretty good check every month.
Okay.
And then from the part-time, it's just like I do have a side hustle also that's cash only. So see, I know I want to be honest. I'm a super honest person. So I want to
Yeah.
pay taxes on the cash money,
Yeah.
but it's
There's a
nothing
strategy
that
to
I
that.
get I'm sorry.
There's a strategy to that, right? I mean,
Oh, is there?
yeah, barbers, hairstylists, they're pretty much cash driven. That's why it's very important for you to get with someone, a CPA, that can tell you, here's the best way to legally, ethically, and morally pay taxes on the cash. So that way you're not paying as much. But here's the question that I think you would definitely have to get with Shania on, because again, I'm not a tax pro and I don't want to mislead that information, is how are you collecting this cash? Is it through a legit business, an LLC? Like what is the way you're receiving it? And then let's just say you're not receiving it right. She's going to tell you how to set yourself up to receive the cash right. And then how to put it on
my
paper.
part-time job. So my part-time job that I have, I get paid hourly pay, but people are allowed to tip us. So I receive
And tips, yeah. And so
yes.
tips are going to be taxed differently. I don't know that number, so that's why you need to get with a CPA to really help you understand that information. But I'm going to pay for you to sit down with Shania for 1 hour. But before you do that, I need you to go on IRS. I need you to print off all of your wages from the year you haven't filed up into 2022, 2023, if they have 2023 numbers in. So that way, when you get in front of her, you can do this. Let's just say, for example, you don't want to sit down with Shania. I respect that. This week, you need to get this information. By next week, you need to sit down with a CPA. Do not go to H&R Block. Do not go to just a tax filer. No. Sit down with someone who can sit there and save, because you're going to owe a lot of money. I'm just going to be honest with you, right? And so you need to find someone who knows the laws, who can help you get around some of the laws legally and ethically and get you down to the lowest amount that you would have to pay. And I truly trust Shania and her company in doing that, but she's going to need that information, and she won't be able to give you any information if she doesn't have the numbers in front of her. So do that. I'm going to have, how should I do this, Michelle? Let's do this. Do you have Instagram, Rebecca?
I do.
Okay, cool. Go on Instagram right now. I want you to DM me your name and your email address and your contact number. DM me. And then what I would do is I will have my team send this over to Shania, and her team will reach out to you to schedule an appointment, and we'll do it. We'll do the consultation for free. Anything you want to add to this, Njadeka, at all?
Yeah, there's actually two things. One is, and this is more kind of behavioral finance stuff, and just to echo what you said, Anthony, and this is to anybody, because I remember this too. I remember this around my credit report. Okay. And it's this, I don't want to face it. Like, I don't even want to look at it. So I'd rather just, not look at it. Because it is this, like, this fear, this anxiety around that. Promise you, again, just like he said, to you just have to face it and face what kind of comes along with it, because that is the powerful part. That is the taking control part. Right now, you don't have control. Yeah. And like you said, big brother, IRS is big brother. You want no problems. That's the gangster of gangsters. You don't want no problems with them. That's one point. So facing it, whatever that may be. And then the other thing is the above the table. It's funny, it shows the table. I know that, it used to be like cool to be like, nah, I don't pay taxes. I just get cash. And I'm not saying that she's saying this. This is kind of a general, statement to folks on the call, is that we got to get above the table more. Mm-hmm. And like you said, legal, moral, and ethical, because that's really where building wealth comes in. You're not going to build wealth under the table. Yeah. You have to get above the table, because that's when you begin to tap into wealth strategies, right? I remember a couple years ago when, during COVID, and, a lot different grants were coming out, different types of funding was coming out, but you know what you needed? Tax returns. Fact. And so for people and businesses that did not have their tax returns in order, you didn't get no money. I got money. You know what I'm saying? I was able to tap into some of that stuff. And so we got to just, in the general sense, make sure that even our businesses are also these side hustles, make sure that they're structured, and we're doing things above ground and getting just those structures in place and filing what we need to file.
Miss Rebecca, we're praying for you. We love you. And DM me your information. I'm going to get this over to Shania. I'm her team right now. We'll get you taken care of, because I can't have a Black wisdom mother like yourself being hit up by the IRS like that. And so thank you for coming up and asking that question. We're here to help you build your table. And part of that is getting situated with IRS. So we love you. Thank you. And God bless you.
One thing real quick. Is your Instagram the same as just the AO? Because I have Instagram, but I don't use it a lot.
Yes.
So is it?
Yeah, so go to Anthony O'Neill's. All y'all should be following me.
Yes.
It's Anthony O'Neill, ANTHONYONEAL. Look for the blue check mark, and that's me. So just follow me, and then send me a DM, and then Rebecca, my team, will get that information, and we will get that over to Shania. All
Thank you
right?
so much. I want to publicly thank you for your kind offer because I mean just turned 50. I'm going through menopause, and you just made me have an immediate hot flash of gratefulness. So thank
Oh
you
no,
so much.
no, thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Thank you very much.
All right now. All right, we're gonna try and get through two more, you guys. We're gonna try and get through two more. If you want to call in real quick, I don't know if we have two that are ready to where faces are on. Again, if you call in, I got to see your face. You know, we don't do no faces because I don't know if you're real. Okay, so I got to see your face so we can know if you're real. So if you act crazy, I can find you. Because the internet is very, 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 very small. I can find you. And so if you want to call in, anthonyoneil.com/call AO, and we'll bring you up. But if we don't see your faces, then you can't come up. That is the rule here. So who we got next, Jay? Marva? Miss Marva, how are you, ma'am?
I'm good. How are you? Can you see me?
I can see you. Yes, ma'am. I like that background.
Oh, thank you. I have a question.
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
about to be 60 in March.
Okay. Happy birthday, 60-year-old.
I don't really have a savings, but I just started.
Okay.
I'm trying to get out of credit card debt.
Okay.
And how do I find the right person to consolidate without them putting me more in debt? Because with the bank, you got to have a credit of 680. And my credit is never moving. It always stays 645, 46 up and down.
Okay. How much debt are you in?
Oh, I'm in a lot of debt. I'm
What's
in
a lot of
about
debt? Talk to me. Don't be ashamed. Tell me.
about a well, I have a house with my daughter, but it's really her house, but I'm on the thing with her, but it's her house. So with that debt and my credit card debt, we're gonna say it's about 170,000.
Okay, wait. You said consumer debt. So outside of the mortgage, how much do you have?
Out of that, my consumer debt is about 12,000.
Okay, cool. I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about the mortgage. All right. So I just want just all consumer. So consumer debt right about
Okay.
12,000.
You add the credit cards with, I guess, what you call my car.
Anything. Yep. So give me all debt excluding mortgage.
Okay. I co-sign, which I should have never did. So we're going to say
Jesus.
that's 40, 50. Okay, we're going to say about 60,000 rounded off.
All right. So you're 60 years old with $60,000 in debt. All right. What's your give me your annual income right now.
I have to, let's see.
Take your time. I need to know this number.
Okay. He was 18. Let's see. Wait a minute. Now, well, why don't you add this for me? You'll be quicker than me.
Okay.
Let's do 29 times 12.
You make $2,900 a month.
Um, no, we're gonna do the hourly, like 29.
Oh, it's $29.
Yeah, let's do that hourly. I don't know how you quite
That's
do that.
$348.
Okay, and then
You work
times
12-hour
4.
days, or that's 12-hour weeks.
Um, the hours vary, so we're gonna say about 25 to 30 hours a week. I've
30
been
hours a week. All right.
almost 18 years.
All right. So you're making about $870 a week at
Okay.
29. So you're making $29 an hour at
All right.
30 hours a week. When times that by 4, you're bringing in about $3,480 a month. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And we're at $60,000 in consumer debt.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Writing it down too.
Yes. So you're making about $41,000 a year. All right. Cool. Here we go. All right. Cool.
That's
So, huh?
part time.
That's part time, and I
Yeah.
mean honestly, part time making that kind of money, that's not that's not bad. Let's be honest here. All right. So and say your name one more time for me. I need to remember this.
Marva.
Marva. Okay, Miss Marva. All right, Miss Marva. All right. So consumer debt. talk to me a little bit on that. We're probably going to end here, y'all, because I want to help out Ms. Marva on this one. All right. I don't want to rush this one. 60 years old, $60,000 in consumer debt. Break down this consumer debt. What kind of debt is it?
It's the credit card debt and the my vehicle, and then I co-sign for one of my grandkids' vehicle.
So credit cards and car.
Yes, cars. Yeah.
Ms. Marva, I love you. I just want you to know that, okay?
Okay.
Why are you looking like that?
It's like
it scares me, Miss Marva, that at 60 you have, I want to guess, about $30,000 in credit card debt.
okay.
And then you have $30,000. I'm guessing in cars, and you're making about $41,000. Are you helping your daughter with the mortgage right now, or is she taking care of the mortgage?
She takes care of it.
Okay, cool, great. So right now, where is your money going towards?
Trying to get out of debt.
Okay, so you have nothing saved. I'm guessing.
Well, I have I guess you can call it the 401.
Yes, ma'am. At your job.
At my job, and
Okay.
I have that tax.
Okay.
Got a certain amount every week, and it's all pre-tax, so I won't owe no taxes on it.
Okay. And then, do you have anything inside of a savings account? So outside of retirement, anything inside of a bank account?
I just started savings, so
You just started savings. Okay. How much do you have in savings right now?
right now I have let's see, about 7. I just started.
700 or 7,000?
I wish it was 700.
Okay, cool, great. Hey, Miss Marva, listen. I'm not here to make you feel bad at all. I'm here to help you out, right? So what I may say may come off a little harsh, a little bit, but it's coming off harsh in love, because at 60, I want you to have freedom. Now, you know what I'm saying? I want you to have abundance. I want you to enjoy life, right? So I'm coming from a place of love. I'm not going to scream at you. I'm not going to go crazy on you, because, you my mother's age. So you mother to me. You know what I'm saying? So right now, I'm treating you like you my mama. Like, mama, we got to change this.
Yeah.
Like, this is not good. So here's the very first thing. You're not going to do any company. You're not going to pay any company to help you eliminate your debt. You're not going to do it. I 110% disagree with consolidation companies, because what you're doing is you're paying them to do what you could do.
Right.
You do not want to do that. All right. And so this is what I want you to do. And this is for everybody. All right. This is for everybody. I want you to work the debt snowball method. So right now, gross, you're making about $41,000. So this means net, you're seeing about $32,000, $33,000, right? As far as in what you actually have coming into your pocket. And so $60,000 is a large number, but it's not a number that I'm like, okay, you can't do this, right? So for the next 24 months, you are going to have to stick to a strategy that's going to help you eliminate the debt. And this is the debt snowball method. All right. So what I want you to do, how much money do you need for 1 month, right? If something happened today, how much money do you need to live for 1 month? If you lost your job, if your daughter lost her job, like, how much money does Marva need to survive for 30 days? Just give me a ballpark figure.
Just for that month?
Yes, ma'am. Just for 1 month.
About 2,000.
Cool, great. All right. So what I want you to do is I want you to work hard on putting $2,000 into a savings account. Because you only need $2,000, I'm not even concerned about you putting $2,000 into a high yielded savings account. Right now, I just want you to put $2,000 into a savings account. So that way, if life happens, at least you and your daughter can survive for at least 30 days. Outside of that, Ms. Marva, you need to work the debt snowball method. All right.
Okay.
If you go to anthonyoneal.com, I want you to click on the link, click on free resources. I want you to download my 30-page ebook on how to get out of debt fast. I don't know, Michelle, we could put that in the chat for everyone watching right now. If you can find that, put in the chat. If your daughter's watching this right now, Ms. Marva, tell her to click on that link on the chat. She's not? Okay. I want you to read that book and I want you to follow that system. I teach you why the debt snowball method is better than the avalanche method, because the avalanche method is going to teach you the highest interest, pay the highest interest off first. I'm not a fan of that because this all comes down to mental. We need to get you some quick wins right now.
Okay.
You need to see quick wins. So do not pay someone else to consolidate your loans. Don't go pay another bank to consolidate all of them into one, and then now you have this huge payment. No. You're going to work the debt snowball method. And here it is in basic. Then I'm going to let Njideka come in and give you some wisdom as well. You're going to line up all your debt from smallest to largest. So here's an example. If you have a $500 credit card, a $5,000 credit card, and then let's say you got a $10,000 car loan. That's simple, right? You're gonna make all minimum payments on those, and then any extra money you have coming in, you're gonna put all that on the $500 one first.
Okay.
So let's say you're paying $200 on that. Cool, great. You're gonna take all that when it's paid off, put it on top of the next one, and you're gonna snowball that until you are 100% debt free. That is the best. That is the quickest method to eliminating and paying off your debt. So if you only need $2,000 a month to spend to survive, right? Which I wish I had more time with you to really understand why do you need that much. If your daughter's paying a mortgage, how much is your car note? Real quick.
I rounded off to 478.
478. Okay, cool, great. So if you're seeing about on average about $2,500, if your car note's 478, you need some food, this means you should have at least $1,600 a month to spend to go towards paying off your debt.
Okay.
So
Well,
you got to.
co-signed another car.
Oh shoot! Are you paying that out of your pocket?
No, but it's still in my name.
Cool, great. Well, who is you said for your daughter, or your granddaughter?
My granddaughter.
Cool, great. Does your granddaughter have the at least I hate debt, but does she have the credit to get it out of your name and just put it solely in her name?
No, I wish.
How much is that car?
It's about 24.
$1,000?
Um,
Oh Jesus! And is she making that payment on time?
no.
How old is she?
She just turned 23.
Yeah, here's my thing. We got to get this out of your name. Because if she's not making a payment on time, we got to get this out of your name. You got to have a real conversation with your granddaughter. And let me say this up front before I say this. You're an amazing grandmother. I can tell that you love your kids. I can tell that you love your grandkids, but they need to return that same love. And right now they're putting you in a place that is adding stress to you. I can see it in your heart. Like, I'm tired of this. I don't want this, but I don't want to hurt my kids and my grandkids. Right. Like, I want to help them win. But you're at an age to where you should be having freedom and you shouldn't be stressed about somebody else's responsibilities. You're taking ownership of your responsibilities, but you do have to have and figure out what is a healthy way to have a honest conversation with your granddaughter and say, hey, listen, you're making this payment late. It's hurting me. I'm stressed about it. I'm trying to be debt free. I'm trying to have freedom. And so we got to have that conversation. This is what I want to do, because I got to get off of here at 2:00, and I want to give Njideka some time to say something to you as well before we go. But this is what I'm going to do for you. DM me too. DM me. I want to do a Zoom call with you and just really walk through your whole system of getting out of debt. I want to do it one-on-one. I'm not going to charge you nothing. I just want to spend some time with you. And then I also want to talk about how can we talk to your granddaughter about literally having this conversation with her, because we got to get this out of your name. Because the only way you're going to have increase in wellness, freedom, and abundance is if you get this car out of your name, which will probably, well, you said it's $24,000. So it's going to take you down $24,000. It's going to take you down to about $38,000. We can get you out of debt this year. In 2023, you turned 61. Now you're just focused with Njideka on coming up with strategies on how to make you more money so you can have more freedom, more peace, and more love there. And so Njideka, go ahead real quick. But DM me. Are you on Instagram, Miss Marva?
I can get on there.
Or ask your daughter, ask your granddaughter, ask them to send me your information. I'll have Michelle reach out to you, and we're going to do a Zoom call. I'm gonna spend an hour with you and just walk through this whole thing with you on my behalf.
I'm on Twitter.
Okay, DM me on Twitter. I'm on Twitter.
Okay, I could do Twitter.
I love it. I do love it. All right, Angelica, what you got for us?
I think you laid out a solid plan. I agree with the debt snowball. I still am on the fence on avalanche, but what's funny is I usually will tell people a hybrid, and the first thing that you start off with is snowball, because exactly what you said is quick wins. You need to see, people need to get immediate gratification. We understand, environment we live in. So definitely getting that debt paid off, even seeing if there are ways to accelerate that debt payoff. Everything that you're saying, is there a way for you to bring in, some additional income? You hit that point on monthly expenses, because I don't think she had mentioned that. And I was wondering what amount of money, right, do you have to have coming out? So that's where, we will come in. Where I would come in is whether it is identifying what are some additional streams, and what can your retirement look like. The reality is that you are in a position, because of where you are, you will likely be working a little bit later, and we have to really get focused and intentional on, and you might even be working just through retirement in some small way. But like he said, let's just have the conversation. Definitely getting out of debt. Definitely getting that one that you were talking about out of your name is super, super important. I understand as well, just the value of having a grandmother like you that looks out for family. But you cannot. But yet we also have to understand what is shooting ourselves kind of in the foot.
Mm-hmm.
Because it is also it's going to hurt you. So you guys can talk through those strategies, but definitely. And then after that, the 401k strategy, how are we going to help you not be working or working way less?
Let me tell you this one thing, Ms. Marva. I'm going to tell you, when you get on the phone with me, I'm going to tell you right now, you need to pray on it. Because if it was me, if I was grandpa, I'm telling my granddaughter to sell her car. I'm telling her to sell it, because it's hurting me. We had an agreement that number one, I don't teach co-signing on nobody. I don't care who you are. I wouldn't co-sign for my brother, my mama, my daddy, but you did it. So we can't talk about what you should have done, right? But what you can do right now is say, listen, I made an agreement with you that you're going to take care of this car. You broke that agreement. And because you broke that agreement, it's hurting me, and I can't do that anymore. So because I am on this car, you're going to sell it. And then you're going to go figure out something else to do on your own, because this is hurting me. So we're going to talk through all that when I get with you. I love that you love him, and I just feel so bad because it's going to hurt your granddaughter. It's going to hurt you. I mean, but at the end of the day, I respectfully say this right now: we need to get you in a better place personally with your finances. You have the income to take care of your responsibilities and your stuff. The other part is we're gonna have to tell your daughter, hey, we gotta sell this. We gotta sell this car. But DM me on Twitter, and what I'll do is I will have Michelle reach out to you, my show producer. She'll reach out to you and she'll schedule a time for Zoom. And then from there, we'll just come up with a game plan. But do not do any debt consolidating at all. And I promise you'll be good. But listen, you guys, man, y'all been rocking with us for 2 hours. I got a meeting that I got to jump to. Thank you all so much for rocking with us. Did you all like today's show? Did y'all learn a lot from Njadeka, from Shania, from myself? Do you all like this? Let me know in the comments. I mean, wow, 645 of you all are in. I think our highest number was at 700. And we're not even doing this on a weekly basis. So I know once we get to a weekly basis, we could have thousands watching this. But this was absolutely, absolutely amazing. But if you enjoyed it, if y'all want to see this weekly, hey, can you hit the thumbs up before you leave? Can you hit that subscribe button? And do not forget, You're not subscribing. You're not being a follower. You're joining the E3 family, where we are increasing in three things: abundance, wellness, and freedom. And so if you want to be a part of that family, just join us. Just rock with us. And I promise you, you will thank yourself a little bit later on in life, because you're going to be learning a lot here. And I'm going to be bringing on more guests, more experts, more people who can give us practical, real, legit advice that is going to really help us get to the next level of life financially. This is going to be the year that we have the year of increase of our finances. And I want to personally invite you, let's go ahead and put this in the chat, Michelle. I want to personally invite you to join us January 22nd through the 26th, where we're going to be praying for our increase. We're going to be praying for, like Miss Marva, to help God miraculously help us do something, get rid of all the debt. We're not going to be 50. We're not going to be 60 years old. And we're not going to be 70 years old struggling, trying to figure out how to work through our retirement. I'm going to help Miss Marva, but that's not what I want for all of us watching right now. And so listen, January 22nd through the 26th, we're going to pray like it all depends on God. And then we are going to work like it all depends on us. And I have friends coming, and it's 100% free. All you got to do is go to prayfyi.com. That is prayfyi.com. And you're going to register for free. And I promise you this much. Watch this. God is going to do something that week. God is going to do something miraculous that week. All you got to do is just show up. That's it. All you have to do is show up Monday through Friday. You got to show up, give us 10 minutes. 10 minutes. And day one, we're going to be praying about, God, how do we eliminate debt? That's what we're going to do. God, if you want to just, wipe out our debt, cool, great. Because here's the truth. God can do anything. He can do anything. So we're going to pray, God, if you want to just wipe our student loan debt, God, if you just want to get rid of everything, God, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. But then on the next few days, we're praying about all increase in our salaries, increase in business income, increase in wealth, increase in pay raises, increase in multiple streams of income, increase in legacy building. So listen, it's 100% free. Join us. Can you join us? PrayFYI.com. That is PrayFYI.com. It is 100% free. All right. We already have 6,000 people registered. We're trying to get to 10,000. Join us so we can have an increase in your life. But before you leave, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell button, because every Monday, every Wednesday, we're launching new shows. When we go to this live every single week, it's going to be Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And y'all, we have so much coming. We have so much coming. But I got to go. I got to go to my meeting. I love you all. Thank you so much for rocking with us. And we'll see you on the next show. Peace out.